lanzamiento, aquí viene un batazo de Mundito entre right center field, la bola pica, se extiende, viene anotando Stott, empata el juego, también manda para la bola Turner anota y los Phillies se van arriba. Se prepara Mundito en segunda, el lanzamiento, batazo profundo para el center field, la bola se va. Schwarber Bob, ¡campanazo! Aquí viene el lanzamiento, swing y lo ponchó. Ponche de Alvarado, amigos. Well, welcome to Phillies Weekly. Another week, another winning week for the Fighting Phils. It was a 4-2 week. But I think the first three games, Jeff, felt like we were in the middle of the playoffs. I mean, that series against the Brewers was special. Supposedly the best team in baseball. We went head-to-head with them and show them what the Fighting Phils are capable of doing. I thought it was a complete game effort. If it wasn't our hitting, it was our pitching. If it's not, it was our defense. I mean, we played a complete series, and we were able to win 2 out of 3 in Milwaukee after they swept us in Philly earlier in the year. So, how you doing, buddy?
Good, Oscar. You know, the highlight of that Brewers series was getting to listen to you for 4 innings on, I believe it was Wednesday night. I really enjoyed that. Made that loss a little less painful there, my friend. But so, good job by you. But you know what? I always say this is the time I actually do look at the standings. This is the time I actually view everything and see who's hot and who's not. And that Phillies-Brewers series told me something. The Phillies are a hot baseball team right now. The Milwaukee Brewers, since they won 16 in a row, they haven't been this hot. So you want to be hot going into the playoffs. The Phillies are doing that with 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, look, you're hot at the right time. And today we couldn't ask for a better 2 guests here. The great Team Kelly is back in the house. And guess what? The one and only Roger McNamee is back with us. Take a look at this, man. Take a look at this beauty, what we got here. Look at this. Looking live. Unbelievable. Can you believe this, Jeff? Listen to this. This was the first, we changed the format, going live and going video cameras and that. That first show, it was both of you guys. So
this is the OG crew right here. It
is. So welcome back, guys. How you doing?
I'm good. Good to be back on with you guys.
I mean, are you ready for this? I mean, 3 more weeks?
I don't have a choice.
he gets paid no matter what, but it's going to be longer than 3 weeks, Tim.
Yeah, and Roger was going to be with us a couple of weeks ago. He's so busy traveling the planet and the world. Which part of the world are you in, Roger, today?
I'm in Vancouver right now.
Yes, and, I knew it.
And I will tell you, until you asked me that question, I was holding my breath, waiting for the results of Trey's tests.
Oh my God! Oh my goodness! Yeah, no, we're look. It's gonna be what we had today's show. I think more than just looking at stats and a number of things, which of course, you know me, guys. I always bring it to the show. I think we have. What are some of the key core questions the Phillies need to answer from now until the end of the year as we start facing a potential playoff run? And I think it's going to be a very, very interesting show. So if you haven't call your friends. We're going to have some fun here for the next hour. Look, Tim Kelly's ready to bat. Look at that. Look at that face. I mean, he's ready. And Roger, he told me he can play shortstop. So, hey, with those 2 guys, one hitting and the other one playing shortstop, we're done. We got it done.
I'll do my best to answer for the next 30 to 45 minutes before a big football game comes on.
My goodness. What do we got? Ravens versus Bills?
Ravens, Bills. I've been waiting all day for this game.
I've been waiting all year after the Ravens lost last year. By the way, Ravens versus Eagles. That's my Super Bowl prediction. I'll tell you here at Phillies Weekly. So you guys
that was my pick too. Ravens, Eagles.
Oh, come on! You see, he always copied me. Unbelievable.
Hey, we don't even work for the same company. I just had to make my pick on Wednesday, and I said I'm just going to go with these 2. That's it.
That makes sense. Hey, guys, let's focus on the Fighting Phils. Look, at the end of the day, when you talk, Jeff, to start the show, who is hot and who is not, and look, this team is on fire. We've won 7 of the last 10 games. compared to the Mets that are 4-6, which are in deep, deep trouble, as well as the Dodgers. Believe it or not, I mean, the Dodgers are in trouble. I don't know, Tim. Let's start with you. I mean, what are you seeing on the Dodgers? I mean, they lost 2 out of 3 against Baltimore. They won today, but over the last 10 games, the Dodgers are 3-7. My goodness.
Yeah, yesterday I turned on the game in the 9th inning with 2 outs, Yamamoto about to throw the no-hitter, and then Holiday hits the home run, and just one of the biggest collapses between Blake Treinen and Tanner Scott, 2 guys coming into the season that you thought were among the best relievers in baseball. Treinen's been hurt a lot of the year. Kirby Yates has been hurt a lot of the year. So the Dodgers are just in a weird spot because they have a ton of talent, but you're not sure about their ability to keep their pitching healthy. Mookie Betts hasn't quite been at his level this year. I still think they're the biggest competition in the playoffs to the Phillies, but I feel pretty good, pretty comfortable right now in saying I think the Phillies are going to win the NL East, and I think the Phillies are going to be the number 2 seed in the NL.
My dear friend Samuel Vasallo, man, he stood up on Friday night in a tie game against our ex-friend Scott, their closer for the Los Angeles Dodgers, and he hit a shot. That guy's going to be special, man. Samuel Vasallo, remember that name. He's going to be the next Jordan Alvarez in the American League. So he's a really, really special hitter. I don't think he's going to be a catcher. I think he's going to be more of a first baseman DH, if you ask me. But that guy can hit. I mean,
if you can hit like that, you can play whatever position.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, Roger, talk to us. I mean, look, using your analytical mind, I mean, what are you seeing here? I mean, the Mets were 7 games ahead of the Mets, and we're 4 games ahead of the Dodgers for that number 2 seed. With only 19 games to go, and that's the other thing that is very, very important. So we have 3 weeks in the regular season, and then the party starts.
Yeah. So Oscar, like you, I feel unbelievably good about where we are, and I want to second what Tim just said about the Dodgers, because I watch them. I live on the West Coast, so I pay attention to their games a lot. I have a lot of friends who are serious Dodger fans, and what's going on there is astonishing. I think we know that there's something about the way that they handle pitchers, because year in and year out, they hurt more pitchers and shorten more careers than any team in the majors. And, they've managed to do it this year to a bunch of relief pitchers. Really, they had 4 extraordinarily good relief pitchers who've spent a ton of time on the DL. Vessia's coming back on Monday, so they'll get at least a semi-fresh arm back. But
I mean,
the
Trainer,
Dodgers,
Scott, Yates. I mean, those are arms. They're super quality arms. I mean,
and think about all of the starters that they've lost. And so, there's something about the way the Dodgers handle pitchers that is not right.
I mean, Kershaw is their best pitcher right now. I mean, Yamamoto and Kershaw are the top 2 pitchers in that.
Well, and
rotation.
that'll obviously take them a long way, right? Because they have such incredible offense, but psychologically they're going through a tough time right now, and I just hope it lasts for another month. And
look, we look at last year. They won with Flaherty and with Buehler. Those were the 2 great arms in the World Series. I mean, they don't have a Christopher Sanchez or a Ranger Suarez. I mean,
the way they won last year was they had an insane bullpen. They don't have that right now because all these guys have been hurt most of the season, and Tanner Scott's been bad. And their starting rotation relative to what it normally is actually pretty healthy right now. But I can't guarantee in a month any of Ohtani, Glasnow,
Snell,
any of them are going to be healthy.
Well, and the thing is, they have a lot of 4 and 5 inning starters.
Yeah.
Right. Snell, I don't think he almost never goes past 5 innings.
Yeah, that's true.
So their bullpen is really worn out. It's not just hurt. They've also pitched a huge number of innings. And so that gives me some comfort. And I like the fact that we might have 3 lefties to go against them. I think that we line up pitching wise, all things being equal, I'd rather have lefties going against the Dodgers than righties.
Yeah, and we'll see how the Phillies play when they go out there. But over the last year and a half, they've played really well against the Dodgers.
So I'm going to go down to the first 2 games, and I'll let you know if I get the bird's eye view. I'm going to do an inning with Scott while I'm there, which will be fun.
Look at that.
Yeah. So the You asked about the Mets too, and the thing with the Mets, they're more like us than I want to admit, right? Incredibly streaky, and right now they're having one of their really bad streaks. But the top part of that lineup is extraordinary, and we have to concede them tomorrow's game. This kid Nolan McLean, I mean, he looks like the second coming of Greg Maddux, right? I mean, you watch the combination between his two seam and his slider, and they look exactly the same, and then they just go in exactly opposite direction. I don't know how anybody hits that. Always at the very bottom of the zone. That kid is amazing.
Yeah, he's really good. I told my Mets friends that I can't wait till tomorrow that they get the Phillies fan treatment. They're warming up, so we better bring it tomorrow to those guys.
I'm curious to see how the Phillies fare against him a second time.
Yeah, I am too, but you need Aaron Nola to fare better, or it won't matter.
That's the issue. Yeah.
Well, and you need Trey Turner.
I don't think you're going to see Trey Turner.
Yeah, you're not.
I know. I mean, it's realistic. It's not realistic. But.
Well, you need to see Schwarber and you need to see Bohm showing up, right? And that,
So this is something that I've been trying. I mean, I've been putting together since the beginning of the year. Take a look at the week, right? So this is week 24. We went 4-2, 533 runs, and then 4. We're allowing. I mean, that should be more yellow. The 4, everything that is 4 and below, it should be great. Everything 4 and above that you're allowing runs per game. I mean, you could consider it bad, but we've been relying on our hitting since the All-Star break. I mean, since the All-Star break in week 17, we've been relying more on our hitting than we've been relying on our pitching. In the beginning of the year, I mean, you see a lot of the 3s, a lot of the 2s there. We were relying a lot more on our pitching than we were on our hitting. So it's something to keep ourselves aware of, because it's very, very interesting.
Well, and I think when you're relying on your pitching now, you're almost relying on the bullpen more than you are on the starting rotation. I mean, there's the nights where Christopher Sanchez pitches, sometimes when Ranger Suarez and Luzardo pitch, but you've gone from having a terrible bullpen to you feel pretty good. If you have a lead in like the 6th or 7th inning, handing it off to some combination, you need to get Kerkering right again, but some combination of Robertson, Joan Duran, and I'm blanking, Matt Strom. You have those 3, you feel pretty good about it, and you're going to have to rely on that group a lot this year, because I think you have one guy in Christopher Sanchez, maybe Ranger Suarez, but one guy.
I mean, the other one is Robertson, right? That I think has done a
well, and Banks has been.
Yes, and I don't want to shortchange Banks. He's had every time I've thought he's maybe been pitching over his skis, he's stood up to the next challenge. So it's been and he is one of those guys that he just kind of brightens everyone's day when he's around them. He is like a character guy in there. So that's one of the best trades Dave Dombrowski's made since he's been here.
Absolutely. I mean, it was a complete surprise when they let Gregory Soto go at the last minute, and bringing Banks have been a blessing. This year, he's been unbelievable. Let me put it this way. He's one of the ones that I trust the most, that is going to come with minimum base, and he's going to find a way. The other day, I think it was at Citizens Bank Park, we loaded the bases with no outs. I think it was when Alvarado was hitting, and he loaded the bases, 2 base on balls and a base hit. I think might have been an error there.
It was the last game of the homestand.
Yeah, and the guy came in and he allowed 1 run. I mean, and he struck out a guy and forced into a double play. I mean, he was amazing. I mean, he's been unbelievable. He's been one of the most pleasant surprises this year for the Fighting Phillies.
Well, and if you take the relievers who have been on the roster since the beginning of this season, Banks has had the best year. But I mean, Kerkering's had really good stretches, but he's also had some bumpy parts, and then pretty much everybody else is Strom, kind of the same thing, and then a lot of not good in terms of everyone else. So
yeah, I agree with you, Tim. Like, Kerkering had a really rough April. Then he was probably their best reliever until maybe mid-August, and then he's in that funk now. He's starting to get out of it. I was very encouraged with how he pitched. When did he pitch last Thursday? Was it Thursday?
He pitched today.
Yeah, he pitched
that's right. He did pitch. See, I didn't watch the game.
Remember he came in with 2 guys on and got out of the inning.
Oh, I was watching 1 o'clock football. So thank you.
It's 1 o'clock football. What can I tell you? I mean, unbelievable. So one thing that is clear to me is that with Ranger, Christopher, and Luzardo pitches, I mean, the likelihood, I mean, just take a look at the week. And it's not just this week, but before was Wheeler 2 added to this list. Now without Wheels, things get a little bit more complicated. But look at that. We won the 2-0 game with Ranger on the mound. That was an unbelievable game. The great catch in center field by Bader. Christopher Sanchez, 9-3 game, and then Luzardo, a 4-2 game. Look, when those three guys are pitching, I feel very, very comfortable that our chance of winning exponentially increases. When Aaron is pitching right now and with Walker is pitching right now, is significantly more risky. I mean, I hope we get the Aaron Nola that we saw in Chicago in the beginning of the year when he absolutely shut down that very tough Cubs lineup. But I'm hoping that's Nola that pitches tomorrow.
I'll tell you what, Oscar, I'm a little concerned about this, that their top three guys in the postseason are going to be Christopher Sanchez, Ranger Suarez, and Jesus Luzardo, and you don't have a righty.
Yeah, I think that's overrated, honestly. Like, ideally, you would have a righty, but you just got to go with the best pitchers. And
I would agree there, too.
Roger and I were talking about this before we went on. Ranger Suarez is a completely different type of pitcher than Sanchez and Luzardo. So I think you put him in game 2, and it's a different enough look that I think you're fine. Again, if Aaron Nola goes out with the final 4 starts of the season and is great, then pitch him game 2. If Aaron Nola looks anything like what he's looked like for 90% of his starts this season, you just can't. I mean, I don't.
And that's one of the questions that I've had here. Hold on, because what I did is I put all the postseason numbers for all the guys that could potentially pitch in the postseason. So look, let's this series to me was a playoff series. I mean, we went there. We could have given in the Taiwan Walker game in that first game, and this team fought it till the end. I mean, Bader was unbelievable. Brandon March was unbelievable. I mean, Kepler, everybody. This was the best team win of the season in my view. This
Bayer's catch
is one
on
of the
Thursday
games that I had the most fun broadcasting the entire year.
Bayer's catch on Thursday was incredible, by the way.
I would like to absolutely put in a vote for Thursday as the single finest game we've played all year. I agree with you about Monday. Monday was the most fun.
The most exciting. How about that?
And it was also a game of great courage, right? Because we kept, we got way behind, then we caught up, we got ahead, we gave up the lead, twice, and we still won the game, which was earlier in the year, we would not have done
Harper, give credit to Harper with that home run to basically wake up this line.
But the Thursday game, the 2-0 game, was a character game all the way through. And, Ranger knew what he had to do, and he did it. And she said it was like a playoff game. And they went right through 3 relief pitchers. Everybody kept the game under control. Everybody did what they had to do. And we got just enough offense, and we got the offense in weird ways, right? Only time this week we didn't score with a home run, right? And so, we've been scoring most of our runs with home runs in the last few weeks. And this game, we didn't get a home run. And it was, again, there was football interfering, and I understand that. But this was a spectacular baseball game.
Yeah, and those are the games.
I have a question for the three of you.
Okay.
You have one choice. One choice. You have one game, one choice. Who do you pick between our starting pitchers to start a game?
Sanchez.
Yeah, I'm still going Sanchez, but there is something.
I'm going Ranger.
Yeah, there's something about
I'll put Ranger against anybody.
Like, even last year in Citi Field, Ranger had absolutely nothing physically and pitched that
and battled.
Yeah,
and
so
he did not allow to run. And by the way, that's a different Ranger than the one who's pitching today.
Right,
I mean,
and
the one that pitched on that Thursday in was it Thursday that he pitched? Yeah, you had
and
I still, it was weird.
would have very strong reservations about giving Ranger Suarez a big contract. Like, eventually throwing 89 or 90 miles an hour, like, it's just not.
Nobody's talking about contract. I'm telling you, today you asked me, pick one game, and you need one guy to pitch you the 7th game of the World Series. I trust Ranger Suarez more than anyone in this.
Well, maybe the Phillies will set that up where he can do that.
Well, there is a reality, though. They had a Game 7 2 years ago, and it was started by Ranger Suarez, and they didn't win. So,
was it because of him?
You don't put yourself in the position where you need.
Was it because of him that we lost that game?
He didn't pitch well.
He didn't pitch well. He didn't pitch terribly.
I think he allowed, what, 3 runs?
I mean, Oscar, they were up 2-1 in the 4th inning.
Yeah.
I just trust the guy. I mean, the guy gives me he's a pitcher. He's the guy that knows how to pitch and knows how he keeps guys off balance. I mean, I love the way he pitches.
So Oscar, you're saying he's like Dave Steve, right? Which is he doesn't always look great, but he gets the job done.
He gets the job done. No
I
matter what.
don't think we've
He's
seen the
gutsy.
best of Christopher Sanchez. I think Christopher Sanchez is still getting better, and
I agree. I don't disagree with that.
The game with the Mets where he kicked the trash can, that one really concerned me, and that probably drives your thinking at least a little bit to see him lose his cool that way. What I hope is that was the thing that provided the lesson, so that the next time he does keep his cool.
Look, I love Christopher Sanchez. I love his changeup is a schoolball, even better in schoolball. He has more strikeouts with a changeup than any other pitcher. Now, it's look. Remember what Ranger did against the Padres. He came in at the last with last 2 out. They bunt the ball with a rainy field, and the guy gets the out, and he gets you the last out. He gets it done. He finds, and you said it, Steve. I mean, he's a pitcher. He's a real.
I still think Paul Skeens is going to win the Cy Young probably unanimously in the NL, but I think Sanchez is probably going to finish second. And when
him and Peralta has been pitching.
I think he's been better than Peralta. He finishes second. Like, that's who you start in game one. I think it's overthinking it to go beyond that. He goes in game one, and
nobody questions that. He's game one. He's a game one pitcher.
I think it's good to have Rangers split up Luzardo and Sanchez too. So
being 2, because if we win, you get a 2-0 lead. If we lose, he can bring you back in the series, which I love him. I love the idea of him pitching the second game. Hey, it's a good problem to have. How about that? It's a good problem to have. So let's go next to this. How good have Duran and Bader been for this team?
They've been great.
I mean, Dave Dombrowski. I mean, I'm going to point this out right now, too, for all these people that do not like Dave Dombrowski for whatever reason. What do you want? Like, look at these numbers here. That's all I got to go by. That's a great deadline. And you know what the response has been? Oh, well, if he would have done his job in the offseason, I'm like, but you won't say the same thing. And again, I cover the Eagles, too. You won't say the same thing about Howie Roseman and the deficiencies the Eagles have, but you'll get on Dombrowski. I just don't understand the logic here. Like, he fixed the problems that were clearly on this team. Harrison Bader's been incredible.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm going to give you one number. I'll let you speak in 1 second, Tim. I'm going to give you one number. John Duran, in 15 outings, have not allowed a base on balls.
Yeah, that's something, too. It really is. 15 strikeouts and no walks. Like,
he did not have a good offseason. He did not have a good last trade deadline. So I think it is more than fair to point that out. He has had a really good trade deadline this year. So it doesn't erase last year. They've swung and missed. They swung and missed in the offseason. Now, maybe there were financial restrictions put on them that contributed to some of that. I don't know. But you nailed it with these two. I mean, Bader has been beyond just what he's done on the field. Like, I can sense it. There's like an edge, which you kind of need on a great team that he's brought to the team. So you have that. And then
he has postseason experience. I mean, that's
it's not. You have a lot of guys with postseason experience already, but there's just like a different vibe shift that he's brought.
To add what Tim saying, the first day Bader was here, you could tell. I was just talking to him about some off the record stuff, and I was liking what I was hearing from Harrison Bader. I'm like, okay, like, things are going to change here. It's going to be a little different. I don't care if this guy hits 202. Well, he's hitting 302. Yeah, it's you could just feel that spark. I mean, everybody was talking about Duran, but Bader was here too that day, and you could tell he was already just mingling with some teammates, and it was just a different edge.
And his first step is so good in the outfield. Mm-hmm. I mean, we always knew he was a good fielder, Gold Glover. That was kind of his reputation. Great fielder, hit or miss offensively. This year, he's had probably his best season offensively. But there are things you don't notice until you watch somebody play every day. Him fielding the ball off the wall. He's
off the wall, yeah.
Yeah.
His arm is strong. Like there are little intricacies of fielding that he is so good at.
He already knows how to play. He already knows
his angle.
Yeah, he already knows how to play it. It's crazy.
He knows how to. I mean, he hasn't missed the ball out there. I mean, the ball goes there. He's already waiting for the ball, throwing to second to get the guy out.
He did it twice in one game.
He's a very, very smart player. I mean, look, his experience and more than the postseason experience is successful postseason experience. This guy hit 5 home runs in the postseason. I mean, this guy is. I love the 2 acquisitions. One is going to be here for the next 2+ years, and the other one is this year. And I wouldn't hesitate to re-sign this guy for next year.
Well, he's playing so well. I think he's getting 2 years. I don't think this is like a 1-year re-sign. I think you're talking about Bader's going to get 2 years in the offseason.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty confident that Harrison Bader's going to be here next year, and Nick Castellanos isn't.
Wow. Well,
Jeff will learn how to say his name once he's not.
Roger, your take on the acquisitions and what these guys have represent for the team.
If I'd like to make a couple observations about this. You know, it's taken a long time to come to the conclusion that Castellanos is not an everyday ball player, but I think we're finally there. I'm going to push back on Tim on one thing. The one part of Bader's game I'm not excited about is his arm. He's made 2 horrible throws in the last week, and a couple underwhelming throws. So, but I have never seen anybody play the angle better than he plays it, and he just got here, which is unbelievable. And as you say, he gets to anything that's in the air that can be gotten to, and that just changes everything for us. And he's a really good match to Marsh, right? And that, I think this team had lost. It felt to me like they'd become too businesslike, too serious, that they'd lost the fun spark of the daycare years, right? And that loosening up's a good thing, and this guy brings some of that in a weird way. He brings a kind of macho looseness to it.
I think the edge. I think that using the words you guys brought, I think it's 2 words here. He brings an edge, and he brings leadership. This guy has taken over the outfield of the Phillies since he came into this game. I think nobody had taken ownership of the outfield the way this guy has since he arrived. So it's very special. He's the everyday center fielder. Period.
But we have this weird dynamic where the guy who's got the most outfield assists, I believe, is Castellanos. He's the guy whose arm has done the most good for us this season.
He has the best arm, by the way. He has the best arm probably of all of them.
He has, I think, 2 at home plate.
March has a better arm?
No, I think Bader has a better arm.
Bader's got a better arm.
I agree with what Roger said. Bader maybe has a little too much trust in his arm, but there was a play Thursday where Contreras was on third base. Bader catches it and throws a seed home, and even with 1 out, Contreras didn't even think about tagging. So
actually, very good point. Very good point. That some of the best throws are the ones you make that don't result in an out, but just stop a guy at the base. But I look at this, and I was mad at Dave, not just for the offseason this year and the trade deadline last year, but the offseason the prior year when he didn't do anything about the right-handed hitting outfielder. And, that was the year that 3 of them changed places, 2 of whom really worked out, and we didn't get any of them. And, and then, so to me, this was just extraordinary. I mean, Duran obviously is a game changer. I think Bader's a game changer. I'm actually quite optimistic about the 2 guys we picked up for nothing, off of waivers, because, who knows? But it just feels to me that they recognize that this is the year, and we literally have to do everything in our power. And I don't know if Meza is really going to be any good in the postseason, but until today, he looked fantastic. And I'm just glad that they did that. And I look at Buehler and I go, I don't think there's a prayer he's going to be any good, but it costs nothing to find out.
Yeah.
And right.
Buehler is worth the shot. I agree with you. He's been terrible since his second elbow surgery, so I wouldn't have high hopes. Meza is the one to me, and like you said, didn't look great today, but looked really good prior to that. you need a third lefty in the playoffs because you're not going to have Alvarado. So that to me was a good risk. It's somebody with postseason experience.
Yeah.
I think that was we may look back at that as maybe not the Matt Stairs move, but like one of the, when you used to have waiver trades in August, that type of a move where you get someone late.
And it's the third lefty in the depth chart. He's like a huge trade up. And you sit there and you go, who occupied that space before him? Joe Ross. Who was?
Hey guys, here's a question.
But
are the Phils the second best team in baseball?
Yeah, I think so. I
would agree.
Yeah. I mean, these are the numbers. These are the numbers. Look at what the numbers are saying. The first one is the records. The second one is how they fare against 500 teams. The third one is how they runs per game. And then the last one is ERA. So we're 10th in runs per game, and we're 7th in ERA. I like where Milwaukee brings. I mean, they are second in runs and second in ERA.
Milwaukee's good, but they also haven't been playing as good as they have, say, the past right after the All-Star break.
And they've had injuries to their bullpen, which Shelby Miller's done for the year. Yeah. You're hoping
Shelby's out. I didn't know that. Shelby's
out. McGill's out.
Yeah, so, McGill is out. I think they believe he's going to come back, but who knows? Like Uribe is really good, but the only problem for the Phillies here is almost all the best teams are in the National League. Like you look at the Cubs, who are at 81 and 62. If they were in the American League, even if the Padres were in the American League, they might be the best team in the American League. I look at the Blue Jays and say if they were in the National League, I don't even know if they'd make the playoffs. But for the first time ever, really, you have the first time in my lifetime, I should say, you have the NL is so much more dominant than the AL.
But take a look at how some interesting things. I mean, there are three teams here that have fared better against 500 teams and above, and those are Milwaukee, Detroit, and Toronto. We could say that we're kind of 41 and 38, but take a look at this: 51 and 38 for Milwaukee, 50 and 37 for Toronto. And Detroit at 46, they're +9.
Oh, isn't Toronto being up on the Yankees and Red Sox pretty good?
Yes, but they also beat up on us too.
But then you go look at Toronto.
I went to that series. They're
20th in ERA. Can you trust a team that is 20th in ERA in a postseason? I don't.
The back end of their bullpen is Sir Anthony Dominguez and Jeff Hoffman. Jeff Hoffman has had a bad season, and Sir Anthony Dominguez really hasn't been like that same level since 2022. So. Yeah, I mean, I'll take David Robertson and whoever and Joan Duran over what they have. And they're starting pitching, like they're deep, but they don't really have an ace to me.
Right. Yeah. What they really have is a tremendous offense and unbelievable defense and a lot of team speed. They look offensively a lot like Milwaukee, but with more pop.
They're getting the foul of youth from George Springer, too, which I did
not see. And Bo Bichette has fully returned to what he was.
Yeah, they're both tied in third. The Dodgers and Toronto are tied for third with that 504 runs per game. Look, I think we're gonna have to get hot. I think it boils down to how it's been the last 2 years. If we can hit in the postseason, we're gonna win. If we cannot hit in the postseason and we start chasing, we're gonna run into trouble.
But to Roger's point, I think what they did some of this in 2022, but in 2023 and 2024, they didn't win a lot of games 2-0. So that's why if you're looking for something like what you got the other day, you can't win every game 2-0. You need to score runs in the playoffs. But there are inevitably, if you're going to go on a World Series run, there's got to be 2 or 3 or 4 of those wins where you win by 1 run and you don't hit. Bryce Harper and Kyle Schwarber don't hit home runs. Like you have to win.
The 2-0 game that we saw against the Brewers.
Yes. That is the type of game from time to time. You can't make it the norm, but from time to time you have to win in the playoffs or you're not going to win because every game cannot be Kyle Schwarber hits 2 home runs and Bryce Harper has 4 extra base hits. It's just
I saw the double. Did he get another hit today?
I don't know. I
wasn't broadcasting. I'm down in, believe it or not, I'm in Miami, but I'm not I wasn't able to broadcast. I had a family commitment.
So we won 4 out of 6 this week. Over the last 7 games, Alec Bohm is hitting 107. Kyle Schwarber's hitting 154. Bryce Harper's hitting 179.
It's the bottom of the order. Look at Brandon
Yeah,
March.
Bobby
Yeah.
Orr's been hitting for
I'm
about a
sorry.
month.
What I'm saying here is that 2-0 game we won with 1 RBI from Trey Turner and 1 RBI from Bryson Stott. Okay, and you look at this and you go, we won 4 games this week with Schwarber basically. Well, he got an RBI today, his first one, I believe, of the week, and you know. We know that Castellanos has not been contributing, but what's really been unbelievable is the production out of Marsh in particular and Bader, right?
And Bader.
Marsh and Bader have and Turner. Turner hit like 500 for the week.
Yeah.
And so it would be very, very helpful if Turner was not badly hurt. Although weirdly, if you look at his stats, Sosa is, he's hitting like over 300 over all of the recent periods. So he actually is not as big an offensive drop off. But the problem you run into right now is that you've got your 2 slot, your 4 slot, well, 2, 4, and to a lesser extent 3 really not contributing. And, we really have to ask a question about Bohm because he goes back over 30 days doing nothing. And, that's his numbers have just been gradually creeping down. He got off to that great start, but he's showing some fatigue or something because if you watch him, he doesn't look focused.
I mean, last 5 games or last week, Brandon March is hitting 526.
Yeah.
526.
And he got a hit off a lefty today.
Amazing. It's amazing. I mean, look, this team is capable. And the good thing that we like is that, I mean, we are doing it as a team, and particularly the bottom of the lineup is doing a much better job. Talking about the question that we were asking, after the All-Star break, here are the OPS, the runs per game, and the RBIs per game that each one of these guys have produced. So I put Schwarber, Turner, and Harper as comparison since the All-Star break. So you see where Bader OPS, and I did this yesterday. I didn't do it today, so it doesn't count the game today, but it's 875, March 843, Wilson 841, Kepler 716, and Castellanos at 562 on OPS. And then you see, interesting enough, Kepler and Casti are the ones that produce more runs per game. But look at Castellanos producing runs. He's the lowest, the lowest producing runs of everyone else.
He's had very unproductive at-bats since the All-Star break.
In terms of producing. So, look, it's a very interesting dynamic, the outfield. So I do believe this is an outfield that he's going to deploy based on matchup and whomever is hot. Is that your perspective, Tim?
Yeah, it is my perspective. The only caveat I would add is if Trey Turner is out, which I think we agree he's going to be out for some period, we just don't know.
He's
how
probably
long.
in the IL for the next 2 weeks.
At least, yeah. So Sosa goes from platooning at second base to starting at shortstop, which means either Stott's going to play every day or someone else platoons with him. And Weston Wilson has some experience at second base. So does maybe Weston Wilson get some more at-bats there? Maybe they try to give Marsh some more at-bats against lefties. I know people want that. There's just not a lot of track record to say he's going to hit lefties. You also could bring Otto Kemp back up. And I thought, even though he was learning left field, I thought Otto Kemp looked better in left field.
I think reading between the tea leaves and stuff, I've been told it looks like Otto's going to be coming back up. Ian Miller just got called up to AAA. They've been moving a bunch of guys up. So it looks like Otto's going to be coming back up.
Our friend Steve Porter just told me that Adam Miller probably is getting promoted. So
he is getting promoted.
I wouldn't know, but you have Nick Castellanos has, I guess, accepted basically the role he's in right now, and the reality is he doesn't have a lot of choice because the lineup with the other 3 in with Bader, Marsh, and Kepler has been their best lineup against righties by far. So
Tim, you were there this week in Milwaukee. Like, I'm assuming you guys talked to him. Like, how was he?
I don't think we did talk to him in Milwaukee because he only played in one of the games, and it was the game that they lost. So, it is frustrating. I'm sure it's frustrating.
Who we're talking about?
Nick Castellanos.
Okay,
Yeah, he talked in Miami, which I was not there for that series, but I saw Scott Lauber did a story with him that was really good. But at this point, it's like what Rob Thompson said, check your egos at the door. And certainly, if all things were going well, the Phillies would want Castellanos to play. He's due $20 million next year. It's gone poorly enough, though, that they've gone in another direction. And you've now seen with Max Kepler having played better since the trade deadline, and he's definitely a better fielder than Castellanos, you're seeing better results. And it's allowed Rob Thompson to basically do what's best, regardless of what Nick Castellanos' contract says or how he may feel about it.
So the one thing you guys...
Hold on, I'm hearing some good news. And Steve has also mentioned it. So Adam Miller is promoted to AAA.
Arun Escobar is up, and Dante Nori is coming up
are going to AA. So that's look, they're moving the guys up, but then should be moved. I mean, that have had great seasons, and particularly Adam Miller over the last week, and we'll have a slide on him later on.
So the one guy you guys haven't mentioned is Bohm. And Bohm has been an absolute black hole offensively for more than a month. And to me, if you're going to put Sosa at short, we saw Stott got a hit yesterday off a lefty. And
Stott is looking better at the plate, significantly better.
And Marsh is hitting better against lefties this season as a whole than Bohm is hitting against anybody over the last 30 games, okay? And so, to me, if you're going to bring up Kemp, what you're going to do is give Bohm some days of rest and let Kemp play third base, which is the place where, weirdly, I believe he has 2 outs above average.
Weston Wilson can also play third base.
Well, the problem with both of them, and I'm pulling it up now, but third base might be their natural position. Otto Kemp at third base in 165 innings this year has -6 defensive runs saved and -7 outs above average.
Okay.
So at first base and in left field, he's played well. At third base, which is his natural position, quote unquote, and actually Weston Wilson at one point identified that as his natural position. That's been where they've struggled more. So I don't disagree with what you're saying with Bohm. I think they just have to run him out there and hope it gets better. It had been one thing if Turner was healthy and you could give Sosa some more at bats at third, so be it. Now that you can't do that, I don't really think they have another real option.
And you don't see Stott playing short again ever.
No, I mean not this season certainly, but I think he's much better at second.
Okay.
Look, the reality is that I think there is. We should go with matching up against and matchups and who's hot. That's the bottom line, and we're going to see. I don't mind. Remember what happened last year when Turner got hurt? Mundito took cover, and I mean, it's like he had an unbelievable. I mean, 6 weeks? I think he was out like 6 weeks, wasn't it?
Yes.
5 or 6 weeks. So
it was 6 weeks.
Yeah. So here's the other big question here: who is in the Phil's postseason rotation? And before we answer, we were talking about this before. Here's what each pitcher has done. So Christopher Sanchez has pitched in 2 games, a total of 7.1 innings, 6 strikeouts, and a 3.86 ERA. I think the first one was in Arizona, and the second one was last year. Last year, he fared a little bit better than he did against Arizona, where I think they cut short his potential outing there. I think it was a game 4 in Arizona, game 3, game 4 in Arizona. I don't remember correctly which one it was, but it's when we lost the series to Arizona. Then you got Luzardo that has experience. He's pitched 4 games, 14.2. He goes all the way to Oakland, where he was in the playoff with the Oakland A's.
Yeah.
And then he pitched for the Marlins as well. And he's 0-2 with a 6.14 ERA. In 14 innings, he has 16 strikeouts, but they have hit him, and we did hit him when he opened the game against us.
Tim, was he pitching game 1 against the Phillies?
Yeah, Stott hit the grand slam.
Yeah, it was a grand slam game, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't against him, the grand slam.
Well, it was that game.
Yeah. It was that game.
It was that game. But he did not. I mean, he wasn't at his best there. And then you got Ranger. He's pitched in 10 postseason games. He's 3-1 with a 1.43 ERA. In 37 innings, he struck out 40. And then you have Walker Buehler is at number 2 there in that list. 19 games, 3.04 ERA. But I do understand that most of his innings, even though he's pitched 94 innings of postseason, 16 last year that were scoreless, which is after the Tommy Young surgery and all that. But he did not have a good season, but he had a very good offseason, or postseason, and he was the one that closed the last game against the Yankees. So, look, you got to give it a try. I think we're going to give it a try. We're going to see it. We're going to see him next weekend pitching against Kansas City, and we see how he fares, and then we'll go from there. I did not see the game that he pitched yesterday, but I heard there were some errors, some defensive errors along the way. Were you there, Jeff? Did I see you laughing? Were you there?
Oh, no, I'm talking something about prospects.
Oh, my goodness. You're something else. Football prospects or baseball prospect? What's going on here?
No, baseball prospects. Actually, something that has to do with this show.
Oh, I thought you had a cornerback number 2 for the Eagles already mapped out there in your scouting.
No, not yet.
And then Aaron Nola, 5-4 in 10 games, 53 innings, 58 strikeouts. Again, I think we're going to go. We know that Christopher Sanchez is going to start game 1. Probably Rangers going to start game 2. And right now it's Luzardo until further notice. And we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I agree with you. And not to say these stats don't mean anything, but like you said, most of those stats for Buehler came before the injury. And even last year when he was pitching well, it kind of didn't make sense because he had a terrible regular season. He had a terrible regular season this year. So I don't know exactly what it is that clicked for him. And maybe the Phillies will tap into something, but as is, you're taking a flyer on him, but nothing more. And Sanchez and Luzardo have such a small sample size compared to Buehler, Ranger, Nola. So
and these stats are all this year's stats for them.
Right.
For the
so
pitchers.
I think in a perfect world, Aaron Nola will pitch well enough that he can pitch in game 2, but it's not a perfect world. So we'll see what happens. But based off of how he's pitched recently, you can't do it. You don't need a 4th starter until the NLCS. I think at that point, if you get to a game 4 starter, it will almost certainly be Aaron Nola. But if you're building the best rotation for the NLDS, assuming you don't play in the wild card series, I know they're all lefties, but put Ranger Suarez in the middle. It breaks up Sanchez and Luzardo, who are more power pitchers, and go with that. Because ultimately, it doesn't matter what hand you throw with if you're down 4 or 5-0 early in the game.
Okay, let's go to the next question. Oh, no more questions, guys. Those are all the questions that I have for you. So here are kind of the stats of where the Phils are. So I thought those were critical things that we needed to talk about. The outfield, and now it's going to be based on matchup and who was hot. And then the second thing is who should we foresee in the postseason rotation? I think it's going to be very important what Buehler does this weekend. It's going to be very important with Aaron Nola. And talking about Aaron Nola that starts pitching tomorrow, I love this one here. It's time to bury the Mets this week. So we could not, excuse me, agree more with you. Philly and Eagles throwback. By the way, I like those two teams. By the way, the Phillies and the Eagles. Just FYI, better than the Sixers.
Don't even get me started with the Sixers.
Yeah. And a Latino guy won't know much about hockey. I mean, we don't play it out in South America.
Whoa! Come on, Oscar. The Florida Panthers are like the best team in hockey right now.
Oh, come on.
They're right in your backyard right now.
I mean, we know about rugby. I mean, we know rugby a lot in Latin America, but not about hockey. It's too cold, dude. It's too cold. So let's look where the team is. 83-60. We have the second most wins in all of baseball, believe it or not. We lost one game, 7-3 in the last 10 games, 13-7 in the last 20, and we're 19-11 in the last 30 games. 45-23 at home, great record, one of the best records in all of baseball. We're 37 now. This week we were below 500. Now we're up above 500 after winning
good.
going 4-2 on the week. We're 24-20 against the National League East, and we're 32-28 against 500 teams. Month of September ended at 18-11, and we're 4-2 in September. So we're off to a good start in the month of September. 7-5 in extra inning games, 22-19 in one-run games, and then we continue to our Achilles heel has always been the left-handed pitching, 19-22. But take a look at against right-handed pitching, 63-38. Roger, does these numbers tell you anything?
Yeah, I look at the last 30 and I look at the last 20 and realize that Schwarber had one game in that window where he was just godlike. In the last 20, he had one game where he was spectacular, and the rest of it, he's basically been,
I don't think the word is spectacular. I think it's historic. I mean,
okay, historic. So he had one.
Yeah, that's more than fair both ways. How you guys pointed out.
But my point was, we did 19-11 with Bohm hitting 250, Harper hitting less than 250, Schwarber hitting under 200. We basically, and it's not like Kepler's been hitting well. He also around 200. So we won those games because Turner and Marsh were en fuego, and we saw Stott pick up his game a lot, and we had Bader, who we brought in and has just been wonderful. And you sit there and you realize, to me, our only goal over the next 3 weeks is to get Schwarber back on track, to get Bohm back on track, to get Harper.
Get Turner healthy too.
We obviously have to get Turner healthy, but you see my point. We're looking at 19-11, and we've been doing it with some of the most important slots in our batting order contributing next to nothing.
Yeah. No, that's fair. That's a fair point.
That's especially true over the last 20 because Bohm's numbers collapsed to 200.
And if you remember, Roger, last year around this time is when Bohm started hitting the funk.
Right. Well, and it's completely fair to worry about Bohm. With Schwarber, not to dismiss your point, like he has struggled for the first time this season, but he's like the definition to me of a green light player. I never know if that's saying green light, red light.
Tim, what I'm saying is,
I think green light players.
Yeah,
if we'd had a decent Schwarber, that number would have been 25-6.
But I'm like more sure of Kyle Schwarber having a big game during big games than any player in baseball right now. So, I feel come playoff time, he's going to wake up, roll out of bed, and hit a home run in his first at
he was pretty close to having a big home run today. It was
about 4 home runs. About 4 home runs after going 0-for-21 or something like that. And he
I really expect exactly what Tim said. I expect Schwarber to really turn it on. I expect Harper to turn it on. I would love to see Bohm get his head. He looks really unhappy when you watch him at the games, right? He has all these at-bats where when he strikes out, where he either swung at something he shouldn't have swung at or took a pitch that he wish he hadn't taken. And, so to me, I see upside from all these numbers. I'm very, very optimistic, except for the Turner thing. Turner's been so catalytic and weirdly, not so much leading off, but following the bottom half of the order, doing really well, being the guy who either keeps that rally going or drives in a couple runs.
Over the last 30 days, Schwarber has hit 189.
Yeah.
What's your take on what's going on with him? He's just 2 inches. I mean, what's going on?
I just think you get into funks throughout the course of the season with him.
Yeah.
I don't read too deeply into it. I'm sure when you're on the cusp of hitting 50 home runs, you get a little anxious, but it's also somebody that has like the 4th most playoff home runs of all time and has hit over 350 or 300 in his career. Like, I don't worry that he's not going to get out of this as long as he's healthy, which by all accounts he is.
By the way, I don't think he's going to break Ryan Howard's record.
No, I don't think so. I didn't think so all along. Just the fact that someone could get close, though, I never thought anyone would get close.
Yeah, I mean, 50's an accomplishment. 49's an accomplishment in and of itself.
He's hitting 189, but he over the last 30 days, he hit the most home runs out of all the Phillies. So
yeah,
it shows that.
Well, before the 4 home run game, and then even after it, he had like a stretch where I think it was like he had 20 home runs in his last like 39 games or something like that. And then then he had the Mets series, then he had the 4 home run game, and I think he got back to that pace or something like that. But it's honestly incredible how he's been able to carry this offense a lot of times through this year.
Is Realmuto cooling off? Are you seeing that?
Yes, the numbers say that.
Yeah, I mean, it was inevitable, though. He wasn't going to continue to hit at that pace that he was hitting at, which is the perfect time, to Roger's point, where between that and the Turner injury, you need another right-handed hitter to step up. And while Bader's done that, you really need Alec Boehm to hit like a 4th or 5th hitter going forward if you're going to make a deep playoff run.
Yeah. So he's 5 for 18 over the last week.
Well,
no home runs and no RBIs.
The last 15 games, he's hitting Realmuto's hitting 173 with 2 homers and 4 RBIs, right? Last 7 games, he's back up to 227, but he doesn't have any offensive output at all. No home runs, no RBIs.
Yeah, his value.
And the only reason that I say it, we need somebody hitting behind Harper.
Yeah.
I mean, that can be effective.
Right now, that looks like Marsh.
Wow. Mark's another lefty, so you're talking maybe Bader.
Right. If you're facing Clayton Kershaw or Sean Manaea or whoever.
Right, then it's obviously got to be a righty.
Yeah.
Peterson is not one of them in that list. Is Peterson in that list or no?
Yeah, David Peterson's been – the whole Mets staff has just collapsed, but Peterson normally is. He's been bad since the All-Star game.
Yeah, he has. He absolutely has. So, look, let's go we'll go 2 or 3 slides, and then we call it today, just showing kind of the overall. So here's where our hitting is right now. 10th in all baseball and runs per game. We're 7th in OPS. We're 6th in OPS against right-handed pitching, and 10th in OPS versus left-handed pitching. We're 6th in OPS with runners in a scoring position, which to me, that always amazes me, that number. But I guess it's all connected to those 10 runs.
It's the bases loaded where they struggle. Runners in scoring position, they're fine. They've been fine all year.
With the bases loaded, I can tell you.
But their batting average with bases loaded is horrific.
Right, especially with none out.
Well, I think their big problem is they'll get a run or 2 in those situations, but they don't get 5. Like they never capitalize in a situation where you can have a crooked number.
Yeah, and they don't break a game open, and then they'll somehow come back to bite them or something like that.
Well,
if you're down the run, then they won't get enough.
To be clear, I think if you look at the way the lineup has been configured for most of the season, you've got people at strategic positions like Castellanos when he was hitting 4th or 5th, who just bring all that to a grinding halt, or Realmuto the first 2 months of the year, right? Hitting relatively high. They would be in these positions where if you got the bases loaded, you would then have a guy who was an automatic double play guy. I mean, the number of times that we've got bases loaded where one of those 2 guys hit a double play ball this year has been alarming.
Okay, here we go. I got the numbers.
I say
here.
Boehm.
Boehm,
Boehm, Castellanos, or Realmuto, one of those 3 guys.
Let's see here. With no outs and the bases loaded, the Phillies are hitting with 0 outs and the bases loaded. The Phillies are hitting 412 with a 938 OPS.
I find that hard to believe. I must have missed all those games. I haven't missed a game all year, and I don't remember.
That's kind of my point. Like they'll get a single that gets 1 run in.
It's only 21 times they've had it.
They won't get another run after that.
With the bases loaded and 1 out, we're hitting 069.
Yeah, that's where it's hurting them.
069 with a 357 OPS.
How many double plays?
I don't know.
A lot.
I mean, 067, I think you could do.
Well,
I have it. Wait, relax. I have it. So let's see. With no outs and the bases loaded, we've hit into rounding into double plays. Into 1 double plays in 21 at-bats. With the bases loaded and no outs. With the bases loaded and 1 out, we've hit into 2 double plays. In 41 at-bats.
So they're just not getting hits.
With 2 outs and the bases loaded,
we're not going to get a double play then.
We hit 220. With the bases
if
loaded
you do, I'd be
outs.
impressed.
We've done it 66 times, and we have not hit into a double play because there's 2 outs.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we
Look,
established this.
It just look, baseball hitting is down significantly, and it's painful, but it's the reality of what baseball is today. That's the sad part about it, because I thought we were dying. We had a runners scoring position. We're a minute third and no outs, so we cannot
Well,
bring
you know
the guy
what?
on.
It really is. It's the approach at the plate, even though it tells you your best pitch is going to be your first pitch.
And that's the issue right here.
Yep.
Chase rate, 28th in baseball. Our whiff rate is number 18 in baseball. And then the rest, look, we're 7th in doubles, 8th in triples, we're 10th in home runs, we're 10th in extra base hits, we're 10 strikeouts. Look, this team, I mean, according to this team should be, but we need more discipline at the plate.
But it is funny because they have the second best record in the National League with all this.
And not to pick on one guy, but Nick Castellanos is probably the one most associated with Chase. So in games where he's not in, not that other guys aren't chasing, but you take perhaps the biggest culprit out of the lineup.
And the other thing is Bum hitting into double plays is like a machine. I mean,
he's always, even when he was playing well last year, he's the guy that he's just not quick. If he hits the ball hard on the ground, it's going to be a double play.
Him and Ramuto are 1 and 2 in the Phillies hitting into double plays. I mean, it's automatic.
And like Tim said, Bone's just slow. Just is.
Poor guy. I mean, come on.
Well, you know,
For his level of play, he's slow. He could beat me in the race any day of the week, but he's slow.
He's mad at you. How about that?
He can be mad at me all he wants.
Let's go into
maybe I should bring up the stats since he started dating a certain someone.
Let's go into pitching. Here's kind of
Oscar said we're not talking about that.
We're talking about what? Sorry, I missed that. What was that?
Move on.
Move on. You missed the boat.
Come on, Jeff. Come on.
You missed the boat. Okay, Tim heard it and
I'm
laughed.
with you. I was trying to change slides here. So here's where our pitching is. Great pitching. We're second. Our pitching is number 2 in baseball in most wins. I mean, Jeff was talking about the number of wins. 7th in ERA. We're 8th allowing home runs. We're 2nd in base on balls. We're number 2 in baseball behind the Astros in strikeouts with 2, being 2nd in baseball with 1,299 strikeouts. Starting pitching has been elite all year. We're 4th in wins, 3rd in ERA, 5th in home runs despite all the innings that we pitch, 7th in base on balls, and by the way, we're number 2, I think, in total innings, and we're number 1 in strikeouts. So 856, and then you see our relief pitching. Now, the only thing that I'll bring about relief pitching, there are a couple of things here. Number 1 is that 431, we were 28th, 26th, 23rd, and 24th most of this year in the weeks that we've been here. We're down to 21 now. So we're significantly our relief pitching, and I think you brought this up earlier, Tim. Our relief pitching, we're beginning to give a lot more responsibilities for the victory to our relief pitching than our starting pitching, which have been carrying the load most of the season.
Yeah, without a doubt. David Robertson has done a good job since coming back. Duran has obviously, outside of 1 or 2 games, been pretty much perfect. You've gotten Alvarado back, so Tanner Banks has pitched well. I think Matt Strom's pitched better. Kirkering's had some struggles, but in general, you feel much better about this bullpen. Jordan Romano has not been pitching lately. He obviously has had a difficult season, so you made the bullpen quite a bit better.
Hey, Oscar, let me add something to this, because this chart doesn't include what I think may be the most important stat for the postseason, which is that we lead the major leagues in 6 and 7 inning starts by a wide margin, which means that our total bullpen innings is lower than all the people we're going to be playing in the playoffs. I think Milwaukee.
That's a fair point.
And it's deeper now, too, to add to Roger's point. It's deeper.
Well, the key thing is it's not just that the bullpen ERA is coming down. Relatively speaking, they're less burned out.
Yeah.
And,
we're last in baseball. Just to back your point, we've pitched 451 innings, our relief pitching. The Milwaukee Brewers, they're 4th in most innings at 557. So our bullpen has 100 innings less
Right.
than the Milwaukee Brewers bullpen.
And the Dodgers are even worse than the Brewers, right?
The Dodgers are number one
Right.
at 581. So they have
and the Mets are middle of the pack, right?
The Mets are the Mets are seventh.
And
Yeah,
the Cubs are like
48.
fifth, right? Cubs
it's
are
a
like
good
fifth.
strategy to try and get your bullpen to the playoffs fresh.
Right.
Yeah.
Unfortunately for them,
Cubs are middle of the pack, 18.
It didn't work last year when the bullpen. It was a pretty similar situation for the Phillies last year in terms of their starting pitching went deeper than a lot of teams during the regular season. They got to the playoffs and somehow still Strom, Estevez, and Hoffman kind of melted down. So you're just hoping with a different mix of guys this year that the strategy works better. And I think with someone like Duran who throws so hard, making sure he is not taxed going into the playoffs, because you're going to inevitably, there's going to be a game where you call on him or multiple games to go 5 outs or something like that. Go back to back.
So Tim, I'm going to remind you of one thing though, that we had a period of time last year at the front end of the season where everybody was going 7 and 8. And then it got shorter as the season went on. Yeah. And by mid-August, our starters were going a lot fewer innings, and our winning percentage came way, way, way down.
Yeah, especially because of the number 5 spot was so bad last year.
And so I'm just observing that this year, even though the 4 spot and the 5 spot are both questionable,
that it's his fault, but it's his
relatively
fault.
Speaking, our starting staff is still carrying a pretty good load, and we have more pitchers now in the bullpen that we trust than we had a year ago.
Yeah,
right.
If you just still had Zach Wheeler,
dude, obviously, right. If we still had Trey Turner, but we don't. So let's, we got to make the best of what we got.
Well, we still have to see how long Trey Turner's going to be.
Yeah, I think Trey Turner will play. This is not a report. I think he will play again this season. It's just a matter of not only when, but also like last year when he came back from the hamstring, he was hesitant to run.
Hesitant doesn't even begin to describe it.
Right.
I mean, he had no range at short, and he didn't steal a base right after he came back.
Not many. And even beyond the base stealing, like he wasn't going first to third as much. He wasn't pushing it, which is understandable off a hamstring injury, but we're just going to have to wait and see. Like Kyle Schwarber had a hamstring injury last year. He missed minimum 10 days and came back. So maybe this is not the same hamstring Turner hurt last year. But oftentimes when you hurt one hamstring, I know this from having torn one of them, you put more pressure on the other leg. And maybe that's what happened in this case, that Turner, without even realizing it, has put more pressure on his right leg since hurting the left leg, and that's contributed to this. I'll be interested to know, did this hamstring just get hurt today, or he came out of the game?
He didn't play yesterday. He did not
play
yesterday.
He came out of the game early. They were winning, so maybe it was just nothing. Yesterday, he didn't play, and they said it was a scheduled off day. Maybe it was. But the fact that he hurts it today, and there's not like a big scene like, oh, my God, I just hurt my hamstring. It was like, all right, I got to come out. Like maybe they were already aware that this was something he was managing.
Yeah, maybe he had a tight hamstring, and he just...
Yeah, that's my theory.
Look, Kerr, this is a guy that we need to make sure. I mean, we know what he's capable of doing. He needs. I mean, he's looked better in the last outings that he's pitched, but we need to get him all the way back.
Been going through some stuff. That's all I'll say.
Yeah, I mean, I just trust the guy. I trust the guy. I think this guy is special. He has a tremendous future, and we just need him to come around and be the best version of himself. Right quick, here's 2 more slides, and then we'll focus on we'll talk about the Mets in the next slide. But Aidan Miller and Griff McGarry, proud of those 2 guys. They are the players of the month. And then the other guy is Felix Reyes, that doesn't stop hitting in Double-A. And I'm surprised that he didn't get promoted to Lehigh Valley, because this guy is, I mean, absolutely.
Well, not officially yet.
What? Oh, he might.
Not all of them are out yet, so
okay.
I don't know. I'm just saying.
I mean, he was named the player of the month in the league. I mean, so I don't know about him, but I mean, he's been hitting at an unbelievable pace, and he's been one of the best hitters for the team.
There's
so.
got to be a spot for him too. That's the other thing.
Yeah, that's the other thing. But he deserves the kind of the recognition that he's getting, because every week we talked about somebody in our minor league system that is a tremendous hitter. Felix Reyes always comes up. So
Yeah, well, he's going to win a batting title, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, comfortably, right? We're going to win the batting title in the National League. We're going to win it at AAA, and we're going to win it at AA.
And that has been always the issue with him, that he doesn't have a permanent base. They tried him at first. They tried him left field and the outfield. I mean,
he's more of a DH.
He's more of a DH, and that's complicated, particularly in the world we live in today. So, hey, but we wish him nothing for the best. He's a
Also,
AA right now, and hopefully
also,
he gets promoted.
Also, Justin Crawford is on the IL.
Right.
Concussion.
Right.
On a concussion?
Yeah, he got run into by Otto Kemp and knocked a whole bunch of teeth out and knocked him.
Yeah. Honestly, it looked a lot worse than what it ended up being.
Oh, my.
Yeah, Thursday night.
Oh, I didn't see it.
Yeah. And
Roger and I saw it.
It was totally Otto's fault. It was just,
It is.
I mean,
it's baseball. I mean, and it's not football, but it's baseball.
Yeah.
Tim Kelly likes football. You can see. I mean, Tim Kelly has been hooked to the TV the entire day.
I got the Bills and Ravens on.
Yeah. By the way, Derrick Henry is just destroying the Bills during this podcast.
So. That touchdown run Derrick Henry had was amazing.
I didn't see it. I just saw a stat there that he has like 150 yards already. I mean, and the other team has like 20. The Bills have like 20 yards.
Yeah,
so
well, he had a big run earlier in that game. Lamar scored. It's like the Bills scored right away, and you're like, oh, okay, but Baltimore's defense, they're way better than this. Baltimore's just been dominating since.
Yeah, absolutely. That's great. So here's last slide, guys. These are the 6 series that we have left in the season. Starting with our dear friends up north. Friends. It's a tough question. That's a tough word.
Frenemies.
Yeah. The enemy. Here it comes.
But it'll be McLean on Monday.
Yeah.
McLean on Monday. Okay.
And Monet on Tuesday. They swapped them.
Okay, got it.
Well, the Mets need this game.
McLean against Nola, Minaya against Suarez, Sanchez and Holmes. Holmes is running out of gas after all the innings or the lack of innings he pitched last year. And then Luzardo against Peterson. I mean, those are the matchups. It's going to be very, very interesting. Then we have Buehler on the 12th against Lorenzen.
Our old friend, Michael Lorenzen.
Lorenzen lost today, by the way. Minnesota beat him. And then Walker against Bergert and Kansas City. They're running out of pitchers. I mean, Ragans is hurt. I mean, Lugo is hurt. They're running out of pitchers. Nola against Cameron, and then Ranger is going to open the series supposedly in Los Angeles. We're going to have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday in Los Angeles, and then Friday, Saturday, and Sunday in Arizona. You were saying that you might be going there, Jeff?
To Arizona, yeah, I might be going the Friday and Saturday game. Maybe.
Look at that.
We'll see. We'll see.
I'm excited for the double Philly versus Kansas City matchup on Sunday.
I am too, and I wish they kind of were in the same location.
Yeah, you'll get Phillies and Royals at 1:30, and then it's 4:20. It's the Tom Brady crew for.
Yeah, it's 4:25 for Eagles Chiefs. As a CBS employee, I am very upset we did not get that game.
Yeah.
Hey, look here on the right-hand side. You see how each team is doing. I mean, I updated it yesterday. I didn't have time to update it today, but here is the runs per game. So we're 10th in runs, 7th in ERA. The Mets are 9th in runs and 13th in ERA, despite the fact they were like in the first part of the year they were number 1 in ERA, and I mean their starting pitching have collapsed. The Kansas City cannot score runs. That's the reality this week. And then you see that the issues that the Dodgers have been having with their starting pitching. And then you see the same thing is going to happen against Arizona, Miami, and Minnesota. Their pitching is really, really bad, and we should take advantage of that. So that's what we have. That's our year. I mean, nothing more, nothing less. Roger, any final words of wisdom?
Well, I just I just want to reiterate that I feel like we've gotten to this point in the season with a better team and a better overall vibe than I would have thought was possible at any point earlier in the season. I really tip my hat to Dombrowski for the moves he's made over the last month and a half. And I am, notwithstanding the loss of Zach Wheeler and whatever the issues are with Trey, if we're not going to have to do anything different than we were going to have to do if both of them were there. And I'm not sure statistically that we're actually any worse off. And you'd much rather have Wheeler than not have Wheeler, but realistically, this is going to be on the offense. The offense is going to have to hit, and it was going to have to hit whether, because our offense typically takes the night off when Wheeler pitches. And so without him being there, maybe everybody will just step up. I've been really encouraged since he got hurt how well this team has played.
We played much. Tim, we played much better since the All-Star game than we did last year. Significantly.
Wildly better. And not just that we're winning games, we're beating really good teams in games that look like playoff games.
Well, and one of the things Dave Dombrowski said right before the trade deadline, where they did end up adding one bat in Bader, but he said some of these guys here are going to have to do better. And Bohm, as we've said, hasn't really. But Stott and Marsh have been significantly better. JT's maybe cooled off now, but
he was incredible for a month
for
and a half.
2 months. Like, he had a really good stretch there. Kepler has been better. I get it wasn't a high bar, but he has been better. So you have had a lot of these other guys perform better than they had up to that point in the season, and that's what you need to consider.
And the funny thing is that the guys who haven't been performing lately are all guys you have a right to expect them to play way better in the playoffs, right? I expect great things from Schwarber, great things from Harper, and I expect Bowman to play better. I just think that, the dude came this close to winning the home run derby. He actually does very well in the spotlight. I just would like to see him do well every day.
Our friend Dorwin's, Roger there. What day do the Phillies clinch the division? Duran will be there throwing the last strike.
Let's see how the Mets series goes first before we start planning a celebration here.
Yeah, and
what is our?
I don't honestly
our number
care.
is 14 now. What is our?
I'm looking at the Miami series is I think we have for OnPattison, we have Anthony going to LA. Like, that's one that you could conceivably clinch a playoff spot. But I think in terms of the division, you're still probably looking at that last homestand.
Yeah, which would be nice for us, Tim.
Yes.
Look, a successful series against the Mets would be 3-1. I think we split would be okay, but not
I think
feeling
it's
great.
successful, honestly.
Oh yeah, that's a heck of a series.
If you look at it in context of the season, yes, it's just the way the whole dynamic has been going with them, and
you just got to remember the goal is to keep it at 7, and I keep trying to tell people this. They only get destroyed by the Mets in Citi Field. It's not as lopsided at Citizens Bank.
They got worked here against the Mets. They're 2-7 against the Mets this year, so you got to do a little better than that. But
I agree, but they're 0-6 at Citi Field.
Also, the Phillies were terrible against the Braves in the regular season for 2 years and then beat them in the playoffs. So sometimes these things change.
And we were terrible against the Cardinals and beat them in 22.
Yeah, exactly.
But I will say, like, the Citi Field thing, nothing you can do about it now. You don't play there again in the regular season. That is a real concern come the playoffs because you played so badly there the last couple of years.
And I don't really want to see the Mets in the playoffs. So, again, this is another reason why this is a big series. I know the Mets are up 4 games for the last wild card spot. Maybe put some pressure on them a little bit.
But there are like 3 teams that are 4 games back, by the way.
The problem is there's not another team really putting a ton of pressure on.
Exactly.
The Reds have – it's honestly the Giants are probably the most realistic team.
And they worked as hard as they could just to get the 500.
Right, yeah. So I think these are going to be the teams. It's more of what the order is going to be.
Yeah, so assuming the Mets are the last, I think the bigger question is, the Dodgers have a very easy schedule the rest of the way, probably easier than the Phils to a certain extent. Even though I don't think we have a tough schedule if you look at this.
No.
No, it's
I
not.
mean,
The
Kansas City.
Dodgers had an easy schedule over the weekend, and they played terribly. So,
Well, they had an
Orioles.
easy schedule for the week, and they lost 5 straight games to
Right.
last place
Yep.
teams.
I think unless the Phillies go out to LA and get swept, they're probably going to be the number 2 seed.
That's fair. That's a fair. There
Honestly,
you go, guys.
even if they did get swept, the Dodgers would still have some work to do. So,
My 2 last questions. Roger, when is your next concert?
Next weekend, going to be playing at in Northern California at in Willits. It's a big festival called the Hog Farm Fall Gig, and the Hog Farm is
this
Wavy.
guy's special.
It's the headquarters of Wavy Gravy and the Merry Pranksters that remain. So.
I mean, in the previous life, he would have a rock band. I mean, the number 1 rock band in the world. I mean, this guy is. Come on. It's beautiful. Follow Moonalice at Moonalice. Where can we follow you and go to any of your concerts? I mean, if we're anywhere in the world.
The band has a website called moonalice.com. And if you want to check out all of our music is there for free, including every show we played for the last 18 years. So
it's special. I'm telling you, it's special. Go there.
Psychedelic soul, folks. Just it'll please your soul.
Absolutely. Amen. Thank you, Roger, for being with us. Tim, what's going on with OnPattison and kind of what's the latest and greatest and what's coming up?
Yeah, new episode of Phillies Stoplight dropped this afternoon right after the Turner injury. So you can go check that out. And it's down the stretch here. You got the Eagles just started. The Phillies are getting towards playoff season. The Sixers and Flyers aren't far off. So the craziest and most exciting time on the sports calendars here, and we'll have it all on OnPattison.
This is the craziest time of the year. Jeff, do the Eagles get another cornerback? And what's the did our friend Jalen Carter get?
Hey Oscar, I'm going
got
to
a word from the NFL?
Playing shortstop, okay?
What was that?
When I'm done. I'm going to play cornerback when I get done playing shortstop.
Yeah, all right. Look at that. That's the answer. That's the answer. Do the Eagles get another cornerback, or do we know what's going on with Jalen Carter? And is it just a fine? What's going to happen, Jeff?
Jalen Carter's getting suspended. He spit on a guy, and I'm so sick and tired of people trying to defend this. Like
he got suspended. He got kicked out.
Yeah, he didn't get suspended because he played. He played in that game. That's his own fault.
That's my only message to NFL is once. Take a look at the face of Dak
How
Prescott.
about don't spit on somebody?
Yeah, he spit on him.
He spit on him.
I mean, look at the smile of Dak Prescott's face.
I don't care.
If
that was Jalen Hurts, this fan base would absolutely love what he did.
Dak Prescott baited him successfully. It was smart.
Absolutely. It was
Jalen Carter was an idiot for doing
it. He fell for it. He fell for it big time. I mean,
well,
the guy left all the way. I mean, Jeff, I'm gonna print out. I'm gonna do a printout of Dak Prescott smile. And I'm gonna give
this is why I get very upset with this city, because if Jalen Hurts was Dak Prescott, and if whoever on the Kenny Clark was Jalen Carter and spit on Jalen Hurts, and Jalen Hurts did the exact same thing, Eagles fans would be crying wolf.
It's pretty sad that Kenny Clark is the first name you think of on the
Well, it's not Micah Parsons. He's nominating somewhere else now.
Hey, Jeff,
that's how bad they are.
Last question before we close it. How are the Eagles going to fix the cornerback 2 situation? Is it Bennett the answer?
Yeah, Bennett's the guy. I mean, there's nothing else.
It's not Adoree Jackson.
No, he's bad. It's and Kaylee Ringo. It's
nice. Play Bennett more. Why did he? I mean, I know he had a pass.
He's not ready yet. He's not ready. Okay. He came in and he allowed 3 catches. He's just not ready for this defense.
Yeah, but
it's a very complicated defense.
He kept everybody in front of him. So the other one I'm worried about. So that's hey, if you want to know anything about the Eagles or the NFL, follow Jeff. He's the best. Tim Kelly.
Hopefully I'm on this show next week, because the Eagles play Kansas City at 4, and then Oscar, I'll be at the Eagles next week. Maybe the last show.
I got like triple. You just made me think about my life. So basically, at 8 we have to do this. So what time is the Eagles game? 4:30.
Yeah, it's 4:25 on Sunday.
I'm gonna be at the stadium. So at the stadium, right now the Phillies take precedent of the Eagles until the playoff. On the playoff, I mean So we're gonna do Phillies Weekly, and then I'll do my NFL show in Spanish. So it's gonna be wild.
I gotta do NFL stuff and Eagle stuff Sunday, man. It's that time of year.
We'll cross those bridges when we get there.
Yeah, exactly.
One day at a time.
One day at a time. Welcome to our world.
You know what, Tim? What does Nick Sirianni say? You have to get 1% better every day.
I don't have to pretend what Nick Sirianni says is something I'm interested in.
You know what? Nick Sirianni had me so upset Thursday night because I was so ready to ask him about Jahan Dotson, and he actually tells us, the media, how to do our jobs and ask us about Jahan Dotson. I'm like, will you give us an opportunity to answer that, to ask us that, Nick? I'm glad he mentioned it because it helped my story, but I wanted to ask him.
Hey guys, thank you so much for joining us. Follow us at Phillies Weekly across all your social media, as well as Jeff and I. But most importantly, follow at Team Kelly Sports everywhere. And Moonalice, the man, the musician, the one and only. Hey, nobody more famous than you, Roger. You're the best, man.
Important, Oscar. I never miss an inning of a Phillies game.
That's incredible. Even if he's in the concert, he would not miss an inning.
I pay no attention to football. I pay no attention to basketball or hockey. I'm a 365-day a year.
I have to pay attention to football.
Yeah, no, I understand that. But that gives me, from a fan point of view, a purity that I like to lean into.
That's awesome, though.
Guys,
I do love it.
Thank you so much for joining us. Looking forward to next week. We'll meet you at 8 o'clock next Sunday. Be here with us to talk about Phillies Weekly. We're getting down 3 more weeks. 3 more to go. Let's go. Have a wonderful evening, and we'll talk to you next week. Take care. Cheers.
Bye.
Lanzamiento, aquí viene un batazo de Mundito entre right center field, la bola pica, se extiende, viene anotando Stott, empata el juego, también manda para la bola Turner anota y los Phillies se van arriba. Se prepara, Mundito en segunda, el lanzamiento, batazo profundo para el center field, la bola se va, Schwarber Bomb, campanazo. Aquí viene el lanzamiento. Swing y lo ponchó.